Hello everyone and welcome back to Comic Vantage. So for all of you that follow me on Instagram and here on YouTube know that earlier this week I spent 3 days at the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con, and I gotta tell you, that show is always an absolute blast. And I don't even know why, but for some reason this past year was amazing. The lineup was really good. It wasn't spectacular like previous years. We had like Todd McFarlane and stuff, but wow, the show was just fun and everybody was great and friendly. And oh, the stuff that I picked up. And man, the generosity of the people at this show was absolutely amazing as well. So I'm here to show you my haul from the show. I have, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of a short box. So this might be a little bit long. And it encompasses all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to pull out, I don't know, just a stack at a time and set them up here and show you what I got. So let's start with some small press that I picked up. I love going through the small press area and checking out what everybody has to sell, especially local artists and writers. So one of my favorite booths of the show is always First Comics. The guys there are amazing. I love everyone there. They are so friendly and happy, and yeah, and they have great stories, great books. If you ever at a con with First Comics, make sure you go and check them out and just stop by. Tell them Comic Vantage sent you. They all know me. All right, so first up, what I got is I picked up frickin' butt-kicking zombie ants. This is one of the few First Comics books that I did not have, so I had to pick it up. This is done by the Philbach brothers and Steve Stern. Steve Stern is one of the co-creators of Zen the Intergalactic Ninja, and the Philbach brothers are known for their Star Wars The Clone Wars series over on Dark Horse. And also, they have a lot of books over at First Comics. One of the books I definitely recommend is Cadaver Dogs of Winter. Pick it up if you haven't read that yet. Let's see, a couple other real small press that I'm sure no one's ever heard of because neither did I. The Space Auditorium. Like I said, I love supporting small press. I always pick up these small books and just give them a good read because a lot of times they're great stories and they're always so much fun. You never know what you're going to find. And then I also picked up the Angeli Arbitrium. I have no idea if I pronounced that correctly, but wow, the story sounds really cool. It's supposed to be an angel that picks a broken man for her hero and champion. So I was really excited. The artwork looks really cool. The storyline sounds really neat. I met the writer there, and oh, he was so cool. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Actually signed the books for me, which is really great. I'm looking forward to reading those. Okay, let's grab the next stack. Another thing I do is I look out for good deals for flips. Yes, I like flipping books. Pachow, look at that. Doomsday Clock #1. This book is a really good resale recently, if you can find it for a good price. So when you find multiple copies and you make an offer and they come out to the right price, you buy them all. Yeah, so this is going to be popping up on eBay shortly. I've actually been selling these. Had a couple copies float through, and yeah, they sell fast. So those are some flip books. Oh, and here's a book everybody's going to recognize. Why Can't I Quit You? Every time I see a darker image, especially the silver/platinum cover or the gold cover. If it's a great price, I cannot pass it. I mean, look, I think I have like 5 copies of this book now, and I can't stop buying it. All right, another thing that I went looking for indie grails. I love indie books, and I'm looking to complete a small personal, grail list selection I have. And here's one I can check off my list. Usagi Yojimbo #1. Now, this is not the first appearance of Usagi Yojimbo, but still, it's mine. I love this book. Now, usually when I look for books for my own personal collection, I don't look for the highest grade books because I have a problem keeping them. Just ask Dad's the Key Chaser. He cringes every time I tell him I bought a key book because he knows I'm probably going to sell it in a month. So I buy lower grade books for myself, for my personal collection, so that way I'm not as tempted to sell them. And man, yeah, this is going to be a beautiful book to add to my collection. Along with, boom, look at that. The Crow #1, another. So whoever watched my live stream from the show knows I spotted this on the wall. I went back to the guy and made him an offer he accepted. Super, super happy to have this back in my collection. Again, not a real high grade, but it's mine. I love it. This is not going to go anywhere. It just came out of the press, so it's actually looking real, real pretty right now. And in case anyone is wondering, this book right now, and probably for the last 5 or 10 years, is the #1 indie investment book. Seriously, you cannot get a better book than this. This is always topping the list. It's going to just keep going up and 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 up. And it's what it does every year. So, not a bad investment for everyone to get a hold of. All right, so next, let's start in on the signed books that I got. Oh, good stuff here. All right, first off, I met good old Jamie Tyndall. Pachow. Some of you may remember this book from one of my hauls that I did, or my mailbag day. I have no idea where this book came from. I honestly do not remember buying it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how I got it. But Jamie Tyndall is always, always, always at my local convention, so I figured, yeah, might as well get him to sign it. Right there. Beautiful, right? Along with that, Pachow. He signed, I actually had 5 copies of White Widow #1, 2 already out in the mail to friends. These are the last 3 I have left. He signed all of them for me. And he used this silver marker that I had him use. Here are some of the markers I took with. They're called Pen Gear. Yeah, these pens are actually amazing. I pretty much had everyone sign these, or use these to sign my books. I'm missing my purple though, and I can't wait to show you what the purple looks like. The first one Ryan Otley kept. And the second one I actually gave to Chris Boccolo because he loved it so much. It was my very last signing of the day for the con, and I was like, yeah, just keep it, dude. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, Jamie Tyndall was very happy with the way this silver turned out because he said he sent a bunch of these to CGC that they had signed. He had signed with a silver pen, and the silver just turned to dust and disintegrated off of the cover. So he was really excited. $1.98 for a 4-pack. You get one of each of these. Oh, wait till you see some of these colors. Woo. Anyway, there we go. White Widow. Next up. Oh, here we go. All right. Here's what I'm talking about. So, next up, I met Jorge Perez. Woo! And I was able to get into his line all 3 days, get 5 books signed every single day. First up, oh, Spawn #1. There's the blue. That's this pen right here. And look at that. Jorge Perez was so happy with that. He thought these were awesome. He said anything that goes over black is amazing. So, and not only did I get a second one, this one he signed it silver for me. A lot of people were like, why are you getting Spawn #1 signed? He did a pinup in the back of the book. So, gotta love that. Next up, we got some more Spawn goodness. Now, whoever follows my Instagram has seen these. And again, signed by Jorge Perez. He signed it in blue. And then I had Brian Haberlin sign it because he did the colors in the book. And Angel Medina because he did the artwork in the book. Now, oh, and here's where that comic Vantage craziness comes in. Yep, that's right. I got 6 copies. You might only see 5 here because 1 is out in the mail. I gave it away to a friend. So, look at that. 5 copies, triple signed. Jorge Perez, Brian Haberlin, Angel Medina. Next up, I had Jorge Perez sign some Ultra Force books for me. And this one I just had him doing the black Sharpie. And he was commenting how he was so sad this company went out of business because he loved making this book. He had a lot of fun doing it. So there's Ultra Force 0. Here's the Malibu Ashcan Ultra Force. Again, he signed it right there. Ultra Force 0B, signed by Jorge Perez again. Oh, look at all this Jorge Perez goodness. Woo. That Ultra Force silver foil, ultra limited, 5,000 printed. Again, Jorge Perez. And last but not least, the gold hologram Ultra Force. Oh, look at that gorgeousness. And then, bam, that gorgeous blue pen right there that he used to sign it. Oh, God, it's amazing. Hey, look, there's me. Woo! Anyway, that's my Jorge Perez stack. Now, speaking on Brian Haberlin, I got him to sign a couple Spawn 100s for me. Look at that, the McFarlane cover and the Alex Ross cover. Got it right there, down on the bottom. Beautiful. Actually, this stack is getting kind of big. I think I might start putting it down here. Don't want to drop these books. That would be very, very, very disappointing. All right, now still on Brian Haberlin. I got him to sign a Spawn Witchblade, black and white variant cover. See right there. He was a really, really cool guy. He was really nice to talk to. Very excited that we were getting his books signed, and very excited that I was buying a couple books from him as well. I picked up, bam, Sonata #1. This book had some heat to it the last week or so. People were really talking about it. This is the retailer exclusive cover. See right there, it says Haberlin. And he signed the Vegas Summit exclusive for me. Right there, there was a retailer summit, I guess it was probably 3 weeks ago here in Las Vegas, where Diamond brings a whole bunch of retailers in. They have their own little like convention, and they go around and visit comic book stores, you know, see how other things run. Now, when you bought these books, you got these cool little things. That's right, poker chips. Sonata, Amazing Comic-Con. A cool little image on the back there. Look at that. Are those neat? Came free, one with each book, because those weren't cheap books. All right, what else do I got in this box? Oh, here we go. I got some books signed by my two favorite guys at this show, and those are the Ewan twins. Oh, the Ewan twins are absolutely amazing. They write books for a company called First Comics. You're going to hear that name a lot because I really dig these guys. They do a series called Serving Soups, which is about people who issue subpoenas to superheroes. And then Inspector O, and their newest series is called Love Town. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard of that recently. It's actually gotten some heat. Oh, look at that. They signed these books for me. Classic noir, except for the vampires, with art reminiscent of Frank Miller's gritty and violent Sin City. Beautiful. Look at that. This is the special introductory cover. And it's funny because at their table, they had this one. I bought another copy. And they were telling me they don't even have any of these themselves, that all they have are the normal cover. So I actually have 3 of these issues, and 2 are out in the mail for friends. Here, 2 copies of issue #1. Again, one is for personal, one is for reading. Got an issue #2, and I love this cover. This is just beautiful. Man, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then issue #3 right there. So that's the full run as of right now. And again, the Ewan twins are amazing guys. They are so down to earth. They're writers. They've been in TV shows and movies. I mean, they're really, really cool. You can follow them on Instagram and on Facebook. All right, what else do I got in this box? What is next? Oh, here we go. Next up, we have the Kevin Eastman section. That's right, I got to meet Kevin Eastman. First up, bam, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #50. This is the cover B, the Eastman exclusive cover, or the Eastman wraparound variant cover. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Man, that is so cool. And of course, we got the Eastman autograph and remark that he always does. Beautiful. And then I have the #50 retailer incentive cover. I have never seen this book before. So as soon as I saw it on their table, I bought it from him, and then I had him sign it right there. So cool. It's a great, great cover. Now, here we go. Look at this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, the Archie series. Whoo, look at that. He signed it right there in the middle for me. Now, he had these on his table. I guess one of his assistants found these. He found a gentleman who had an unopened factory sealed box. Now, right now, this book, I would easily put this in the 9.8 near mint range. This book is money because, wow, the Archie series was aimed towards kids back in the 80s. So children bought it. Children don't take care of stuff. So finding a book finding this book in this high of a grade is impossible. Completely and utterly impossible. And that's why I have two. They only had two at the table. I said, I will take them both. And he's like, you got it. Oh, man, that is just beautiful. All right, what else do we got? Oh, here we go. Joe Benitez. Yes, that's right. I got a chance to meet Joe Benitez. I picked this up from him. The Dark Knight's Metal #1. I think it's the Comic Hero University exclusive cover. Signed right there in the corner. And he had all three of the variant covers. He had the black and white one. And he had the Wonder Woman Virgin cover. They're all signed right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous books. And you know, you can't go to a show without getting a book signed by Ron Lim if he is there. And again, he used that awesome blue that Jorge Perez used. Look at that. Infinity Crusade. And this is another book. Man, 9.8. Near mint. Easy. Next up, Jerry Dugan was there, so I got him to sign my analog #1. Oh, look at that. He used that awesome gold. This one right here. Remember, pen gear, $1.98 at Walmart for 4 markers. They do stay a little wet for a while. They're like paint pens, which is rather surprising, so you have to let them dry for like 10-15 minutes before you put them in the bag, or you will smear them. All right, so anyway, he actually let me know he just finished dropping off the script for this either to a movie studio or a television studio, so it is being made. So this is going to be a book to look out for. The next thing I got him to sign, oh hell yeah, Dead Rabbit #1, the Dave Johnson variant cover, right there. And he said there's going to be some good news about Dead Rabbit in the upcoming months. Really excited because issue 3, he said, is where it starts getting really good. So really, really excited for that. Next up, The Haunt #1. I got it signed by Ryan Otley. There's that amazing purple. Like I said, he kept that pen. He was like, nope, mine. See ya. And I got 2 copies signed. Man, that purple just pops on that cover. Absolutely beautiful. And then Neon Future #1, signed by the writer, Jim Kruger. This book has an interesting story behind it because I'm sitting at Angel Medina's table talking with Angel Medina and Jim Kruger's table right next to him. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, you want some free comic books? And everybody's standing around going, what? And he pulls out Neon Futures that he already signed and started handing them out to everybody. It's like, wow, that is so awesome because this is kind of a tough book to get right now. It's been sort of hot. And it's a first printing, Neon Future. Man, gotta love that. Oh, the signing that I was most looking forward to at the con, Chris Bacalo. Oh man, I love this guy. And oh, he was so nice. Right there, first up, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Phoenix cover, 468. Signed right there. Now I don't know why the purple kind of smeared on this one. It just sort of beat it up on this cover. I have no idea why, because on this one, it's beautiful. Man, that purple just slams on that gorgeous Psylocke cover. So Jericho, I think this is probably going to be your favorite book in this stack. Man, that is just, that's beyond words gorgeous. So the next thing I got him to sign, my Gen X #1. Already signed by Scott Lobdell right there in the middle. And look, do you see all the little X-Men logos? He drew all of those on just for the fun of it. Can you believe that? This guy was so amazing to meet. And now, oh, the final book that he got signed. Death, the High Cost of Living, Platinum Edition. And do you see that purple again? Look at that. Oh, man. And you see all the little stars? He drew those on too. Just for fun, he just drew a bunch of stars on there. Oh, yeah, this signing was so much fun. He was really cool. It was my last signing at the show, and he was looking at this purple, and I'm like, well, hey, you know, just keep it. And he's like, he actually said, are you sure? Because it won't be unique anymore. People are going to want to use it. I'm like, let him. Totally let him do it. So he was very excited. I let him keep that purple. And now the last two books in my selection here that I picked up. All right, so there is a really cool artist. His name is Enny Nunez, and he had a booth there. He's a really cool guy. Does some really great work. A lot of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that. And he had mystery bags that he was giving away for not giving away, but he was selling them. They were $30 a piece, and it said chance to win original arts. And I'm like, all right, you know, whatever. I'll pick one up. And it had like 2 comics in it, and it had 2 art prints, which I actually gave to a friend of mine. It had a little metal card and a pin. I got a little Donatello turtle pin. I actually put it on my backpack. So I pulled these 2 comics out of the bag. Really cool, right? A buddy of mine was like, hey, I have this book, and if you look really close, it's a jam piece, and each one of these characters was done by a different artist. So Enny Nunez drew Rom down here, so I got Enny Nunez signed down here. And the Transformer back here was drawn by Livio Romandelli, so I got him to sign it. And then Snake Eyes was drawn by Marat Michaels, and he was also at the show. So I got both these guys who were at the show, so I got 3 different signatures on here. Really cool. Sahad was the only one not at the show. He was supposed to be, and he canceled, so that was a bummer. Maybe next year I can get Sahad to sign that. So, okay, back on Nunez here. So Nunez is signing these books for me, and he's busted out these Ninja Turtle Batman adventures, and he signs it down here, and he goes, so, did you see this? And I'm like, hell no, I didn't see that. Holy God, look. I guess I got lucky and got one of the original art pieces of this beautiful Batman. I mean, look at that. And it's huge. It takes up the whole back cover of this book. I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So that actually finishes out my comic book section and starts in on my original art section. I actually got a couple more pieces. So a local artist who I met through my LCS, his name is Jordan, and he runs his own little illustration company called Grim Illustrations. And he does a lot of Twitch videos, and if you follow him on Instagram, he's really cool. Grim is actually spelled G2IMM, I believe. God, I hope I didn't screw that up. And he had a booth at the Amazing Con this year, which was really awesome. And I saw a piece on the table, and I was like, I have to have that. So some of you have also seen this because it was on my Instagram. But wow, look at that beautiful Psylocke. Will you look at that? Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. Oh, good stuff. Oh, it's beautiful. And actually, what the hell am I thinking? Okay, there's all his contact information. It's actually G2IMM. You can actually find him on Instagram there. Beautiful. There's his email address, his website for his portfolio. This dude is an amazing artist. It's funny, I showed this on Instagram, and I got contacted immediately by a couple people through there like, hey, how do I get a hold of this guy for some work? He does some absolutely amazing work. He sells prints, he does some originals, mostly prints though, a lot of digital work. So man, I could not pass it up. It's just gorgeous. All right, and the last 2 pieces of work that I got. So I mentioned the Ewan twins. Well, the Ewan twins took care of me. They told me to come back Sunday. They were gonna have some special gifts for me. Oh God, look at that. This is a couple of their characters from Lovetown. Do you see these? Look at 9x12s. Absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Man. Again, if you guys are not reading Lovetown, you really, really need to. It's just beautiful, beautiful work. I love those guys. Oh man, actually by the time the show was over, we called each other friends because that's really what we are now. It's awesome. All right, guys, so that's my Amazing Con haul. Sorry if this got a little long. I had a lot of stuff to show. And this doesn't even include some of the mystery boxes that I picked up. I grabbed 2 mystery boxes from that Spider-Man booth, so I have to do an unboxing of those. And this massive 100 book mystery box of 90s Image. You know I had to grab that. All right, guys. So, like always, to my current subscribers, you guys are awesome. To my patrons, huge, huge, huge thank you to my patrons. My patron numbers are starting to go up, so you guys are amazing. I'm humbled by the support. You guys are awesome. New to the channel, hit the little CV right there, a little bell notification up there, so it lets you know when I got all the new stuff coming out. And like always, guys, thank you for watching, and take it easy.